This is the South African Morning. Thank you for staying with us. Let's get to this now. The ANC Youth League's National Task Team has exactly 6 months to hold an elective conference. Well, this past weekend, the party had appointed 35 young people who have been tasked to revive the Youth League. The task team says it wants to revive the party for the sake of young people in South Africa. But for more on this, we're now joined by the Youth League's Nonceba, Mhlauli. Thank you so much, Ms. Mhlauli, for your time. I feel like the country, as well as the youth of this country, have, been here before. They have seen the ANC Youth League trying to revive itself, then collapsing again, then trying to revive itself. What would be different this time? What's your plan of action to ensure that this time the Youth League is sustainable?
Good morning, Tumelo, and thank you for having us. So first and foremost, what we have always advocated for as members of the Youth League is the right for members of the Youth League to determine their own future. What you would have seen in the past has been a situation where the rebuilding process had been handed over, or the task had been given to people who aren't necessarily members of the Youth League, and you would then end up in a situation whereby the Youth League is being used for other purposes and not for the purposes of championing the interest of young people in South Africa. So what we said, and we are very happy that the ANC has actually now handed over the organization to its rightful owners, and that is its members who are between the ages of 14 and 35, because we really believe that for an organization to live and to be revived, it has to be done by its members, because they are inherently the people who have the right, responsibility and the duties to rebuild an organization, and we are committed to delivering that task as members.
Yeah, and speaking of inheritance, it's no secret that you're equally inheriting, the challenges that come with the ANC Youth League. For one being, the current defunct and dire financial status that the Youth League finds itself in. I mean, when we're looking at the gross financial mismanagement dating back to 2013, that surely should be a priority in terms of fundraising, so the organization is self-sufficient but also self-reliant. What's the plan there in terms of raising resources?
Absolutely, Tumelo. So the first thing that we have to do is to clear or sort out the legal status of the organization. As you say, that there were people who would have led the organization as far back as 2012, 2013, who had, made some debt that wasn't paid, resources of the organization were looted, etc. And we find ourselves in a situation where the organization, was facing liquidation. So one of the things that we are looking at right now is to get an update on the rehabilitation status of the organization, to ensure that the liquidation process is sorted, in order for us to be able to, to continue with our work of rebuilding without the legal status of the organization being in question. So that's one, that is to sort out the issue of the liquidation. Two, we obviously understand that a conference is not cheap. In fact, yesterday I was doing an interview, and the first question I was asked is, how much money do you have? So we will obviously be, embarking on a process of ensuring that, young people, it's very important that young people are at the forefront of raising funds for their organization, and we do that, in a transparent way, in a way that we will be able to account for whatever funds that have been raised. But beyond that, the ANC is also pledged their support, because we said to the ANC that you can't give us a task of, delivering a credible conference within 6 months and not give us the resources to do that. So we do have that commitment from the leadership of the ANC as well.
Right. And lastly, before I let you go then, 35 task team members, you have, a couple of weeks to ensure that you come up with some of these strategies, you implement them, only 6 months then to, sort of implement these strategies, at least approximately 6 months. Will a national elective conference be certain? Can the youth of South Africa be certain that there would be conference?
We are committed to delivering a credible conference within the timeframes that have been stipulated. We do not want to be another task team that fails. We cannot have a situation whereby we were saying that the Youth League must go back to its rightful owners, and then its rightful owners fail to deliver on their task. So from where we are seated, or from From our side, failure is simply not an option. We are committed to doing the work. We know that it will not be easy. And we really want to ask young people to join us. We want members of the Youth League and supporters of the Youth League and those who have been despondent to come on this journey with us and ensure that we rebuild our organization in the interest of young people in South Africa.
We'll leave it there, but thank you so much for your time. That is the ANC Youth League task team's Nonceba Mhlauli.